So this is a special month for us because it's official. Rich Bell has stepped in and is coming in to help drive growth and take J.I.M global. We have just recently signed a master franchise for the UK, but we have big plans to sell a lot more masters and also to potentially open up in the USA very soon. And we actually got together and shot a video that we'll be releasing super soon, where it just dives into Rich's background, history, and all that. So that'll be on our YouTube page somewhere. Yeah, we're super pumped and excited, and watch this space because a lot's going to be happening very soon.
Feet down or one leg? Doesn't matter. We've been rolling for a while.
10 minutes now.
Rich, it's been a long time in the making.
Yes.
2 years, I reckon.
Start of February. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've been up to, what you're working on this month?
Right now I'm working on a couple of things. One is working with our new UK master franchise, getting their first location up and running. Super exciting, obviously. And then the other is continuing to improve our partner training and support through all of the various stages, from signing up and finding a site right the way through to opening successfully.
Canberra, just want to get you guys set up for tomorrow morning. So you'll see the A-frame, you're going to come through the door, you'll scan this barcode with your J.I.M app. That will unlock the door, and you'll walk in and pop your gear in these little hidey holes, and then enter the hot room. And on the screen, it's going to show you what we've got, which tomorrow is levels, where you'll need a heavy dumbbell. So this is our equipment rack. We have some 8s down the bottom, 6, 4, 2 and 1.5 kilo dumbbells. You choose what you want, maybe grab a couple different ones. So if you don't know how you'll go, you can start light, I would suggest, and then from there you can get heavier. I'd rather you walk away thinking, oh, I could have done more, than feeling completely depleted. So you'll do your session, which will be 30 minutes. You'll get about 3 water breaks. Your choice, but you can have 13 water breaks if you want. And then after your session, this is the most important part, grabbing some of these wet wipes, a couple of those, wipe down your dumbbells, and then put them back in the spot. Make sure they go back in the correct spot. So that way we're helping the community knowing where everything is. Wipe down your mats, and we'll have a coffee ready for you when you exit the studio tomorrow.
Okay, Laura, what are you working on this February?
So February is pretty full on. We've got 3 locations that are opening. We've got 2 that are opening mid-month. Then we've got another location towards the end of the month. Lots of optimizations that we're working on, streamlining processes, lots of creative assets and guidance for the new locations that we've got coming in. So yeah, lots happening, locations opening, streamlining processes, and lots of activity going on in marketing.
All right, Jarad, what are you up to this February?
Lots happening, lots of locations opening and all the rest of it as per usual. Oh no, this is a good, get Simon here with the board shorts on. Taking a phone call.
I went to the gym this morning.
Yeah.
Probably have a shower and get to work, but I realised I forgot my long pants, so
Yeah.
I'm channeling Jarad tonight.
There you go. See, I wear shorts here, so that's now look, everyone's been flat out. It's been pretty chaotic. I think Simon left last night at about 7:30 or so it was big nights. But no, for me, just trying to find time within all the other things to just little things. So this is more to do with products. So we've got some interestingly new yoga mats, which are a lot less than our last ones. So that, a new robot cleaner, they're going to be testing that out. And just trying to get our space here at the support office kind of operational, so we can be obviously testing classes, but also just for our team to be using it, people coming into the space. We're also going to do a little fit out for the like that space up the top there, just for like meetings and whatnot. So I think there's only so long you can claim you're a startup for before you have to actually start making it a bit cleaner and stuff like that. So, but it's a bit of a mess at the moment. But hopefully by the end of the month, it looks different up there.
All right, Jarad. So the team wants to know, they want to know what J.I.M is again.
What do you mean? Like
I'd like to explain it again.
Okay, push it over here. Yeah. Righto. Yeah. Look. What are we saying? What J.I.M is? The workouts. Yeah. There is a little bit of confusion about this. So I think I would sort of explain it like J.I.M is like a methodology, really like how and why we do what we do with the training kind of principles. So, which is pretty common, right? Like as in, if you think of like Joseph Pilates, like that's just a person who had a way of, or a methodology of how he helped people. And that was normally like after injury. So like with like rehab sort of style movements or corrective exercises. There's been other people that have then, I guess, had their own like evolution of that, even like where I think there was a guy in the States, I forget his name, may not be in the States, but something, Legree, and it was like, it's the Legree method. And that's actually a person, and it's like, it's not even a reformer, but it looks like a reformer, and it's a variation of a reformer, and it's got strength elements added to it. And so, and like they'll often say like, hey guys, this is not Pilates, this is Legree, as an example. Happens all like, I think it was Greg Glassman maybe from, who kind of came up with like the CrossFit sort of style of training. Like again, that was almost like his own methodology that became the thing. I mean, you could look at that, even Bikram, that's a person, right? Who was like, I want to bring like elements of yoga to LA, but I want to bring the heat. And he kind of innovated around adding like not infrared heat, that's us, but like adding a heated room. And it was a form of yoga, but then it turned into just Bikram and it was a standalone thing. And I guess that's kind of what we're trying to do with J.I.M. It's not necessarily like whilst it's like from me, like it's not about like me as in like it's Jarad's methodology. We're trying to make everything about J.I.M, and like so J.I.M's running the class, J.I.M's like style of workouts or whatever. And so I think look, I guess so I would sort of always say like we're not Pilates, we're not yoga, we're not functional strength as like a sort of an initial kind of thing, because that's where people get maybe a bit confused. So in terms of explaining it, we're always gonna like create like a full body, if you want to get into the nitty gritty of it all, like it's always a full body workout. It's always a low impact. It's always gonna be high intensity because of the infrared heat, but it's gonna have a focus. So each day we'll have like a different focus, and that might be, so again, if I said to you like, okay, on Mondays, the class is called Core, it's gonna be full body workout, it's gonna be low impact, it'll still be high intensity, but the focus will be on the core. And that might be using a different type of equipment, and that might be like a gym ball or band or a ring or a pair of dumbbells or whatnot. And then so then on another day it might be, just trying to think of an example, might be loaded. And so the idea is that again, full body workout, 30 minutes, low impact but high intensity, and we're going to use dumbbells to create like a load or overload the muscle group and try and, so it's more of a strength focus on that specific day. And I think we can certainly get a lot better with like explaining like I guess the why behind everything, but I think from my kind of background, it's all built around functional movement patterns, understanding how the body moves, knowing, and the purpose, even from like a joint by joint kind of perspective, and like as in like mobility joint, stability joint, understanding like where most people are like weak, like they might be like weak in the core, they might have like weak glutes, and that might be from sitting too much, and then they might have tight hip flexors, tight pecs, and then so they need to do like a mixture of corrective exercises, which looks a lot like Pilates, or they might need to do some mobility exercise, which looks a lot like yoga, but then also like strengthening movement patterns, like pushing, pulling, hinging at the hips, bending at the knees, like that looks like functional training. So I kind of can understand obviously like the confusion around everything. And so I don't know, that's maybe more confusing for people to listen to, but I guess I think for us, we don't get too technical. We don't go down that path as well, because I think for us, we're trying to attract people into the studios who maybe don't resonate with gyms, don't like gyms, maybe intimidated by gyms. So we want them to feel comfortable to come into the space, and everything is on purpose. So, I mean, we're in the pod right now, but I mean, in terms of like, it's a dark space so that people can't see each other as much, or there's no attention on that person. So there's no mirrors, or it's not a bright space where you get exposed. There's no physical coach in the room that's going to like come up to you and say, hey, like, you're not working hard enough, or like go harder or push. That's deliberate, it's part of it. But then that's not to negate coaching. We just think it can be done by gym or through gym, and that comes through the form of like visuals on the screen. So like showing the right technique. Even with our programming, like on the screens, we'll often have like a progression or a regression for a movement pattern to give people in the room the option to choose. And then obviously we have voiceover for like cueing and instruction as well that welcomes them to the class. But ultimately, if someone's maybe not super fit or don't feel like they could do the full class, they can skip exercises, and we kind of encourage that. Because we want people to feel safe, not to feel judged, and obviously to come back. And we know that what often happens is that, well, that does happen, they might come back, and then eventually they get stronger, they get fitter, and then they might progress. And so, but yeah, so I think I've obviously gone on a massive chat and I didn't mean to go like that deep, but it does come up a lot. It is like something we're kind of working on, I think, from how do we explain like what is gym? And I think I would say it's its own style of training, its own kind of like methodology. It's an innovation on top of an innovation, I think, like all innovation. So yeah, and obviously there's the infrared element as well, right? So like we use infrared heat to, and again, that kind of was always, I guess the foundation of that was to increase blood circulation to help with movement. So like when you're exercising, you're more warmed up, less likely for injury and whatnot. But I think as we've kind of developed the concept and researched it more and kind of understood like the benefits of infrared and what it can do from a detoxification point of view. So there's also the wellness benefits. So like skin purification and yeah, all that, like the detoxification, because the infrared heat, like when you're under these infrared panels, that heat is like kind of penetrating the body at a sort of a deeper level and pulling out heavy metals and toxins. And so you get the infrared benefits as well. And so obviously we've got our hands full in terms of like, what do we market or what do we talk about? Like, and so again, we just try and keep it fun, we keep it light, but the programming is very specific. It's done like, we kind of apply all the like the sports science principles from like how we plan and structure the workouts in blocks and like with periodization and understanding like if someone came every single day, the workout is, or the workout design is done for that in mind. But at the same time, we know that most people might average like 3 times a week. So we want to make sure that when they come in, if it's only for 3 times, that they got like a full body workout and that they got some cardiovascular benefit as well as like strength and whatnot. And so, but it's all thought through, it's all planned out. And then what we do, so obviously one of the reasons for the pod in here was also just so that we could continue to test classes, test voiceover, scripting, like all the things that we do, get in advance. So yeah, but that's what we've been doing the whole time. But like we just, it's cool to have our own space. And then obviously when our franchise partners come to the space, they get to kind of like come in, they could even experience a workout. We've got showers at the top, which was whole part of the reason for why we wanted this space to like put our team here. So that's a really long way to answer your question, but that's how I would explain what gym is. We do need to figure out a shorter way to say it, but that's it. I think that'll do. What do you reckon?
Yeah.